Warning, the following episode is going to contain hijinks, phenomenal music, and may make you stop your car on the side of the road. InObscuria!
Welcome back, my friends, to the InObscuria podcast, a podcast where we exhume obscure rock and punk and metal, and we put them in one of three categories: the lost, the forgotten, or the should-have-beens. My name, Kevin Williams. That guy over there, right there, pointing to himself, Robert Harrison.
Howdy.
What is going on, my friend?
Well, what is going on with you with the vacation?
I know.
Did you survive a family time for, what is that, week or so?
So survive is an interesting word that you bring up there. So yes, we survived the vacation. We did not survive the flight home.
That's what keeps me from going on vacation unless I drive. Flying right now, I hear nothing but horror stories.
Yeah. So the thing that happens to everyone who flies these days, yes, we got home Thursday evening. The reason we did that is because the kids had to start school the next week and we wanted to have a little time to be prepared.
Yeah, unwind.
I got home Thursday evening and immediately threw up.
I thought you meant delayed, but no.
No.
You got a souvenir.
I was like, oh.
Something came with you.
That's weird.
Yeah.
I feel a little odd. And then I was in bed for the next 3 days.
Oh.
And the rest of the family got sick too.
Welcome home.
It was great.
Is it better being sick at home after the vacation or during your vacation?
No, you're right. So it was all good.
Timing was impeccable.
Well, I'm sure my wife says there's no way that could be from the plane. I'm saying it can't.
No, I think it could be from anywhere if it's like the norovirus where you just touch something. You don't have to, it's not like food poisoning.
It was not COVID.
Yeah, that's a different kind of heathen. Yeah. But yeah, one of those like cruise ship viruses.
It was a weird funk.
Yeah, it just kind of shows up out of nowhere.
That's what it was like.
Brutal.
It was like the funky, crunky stuff you get off of a cruise.
Yeah, so you got that on a handrail somewhere.
You know what? We were on a boat. Now that you say that,
was that a motherfucking boat?
We were on a boat.
Oh shit! Get your towels ready. It's about to go down. Everybody in the place hit the fucking deck, but stay on your motherfucking toes. We running this, let's go. I'm on a boat. Everybody look at me, cause I'm sailing on a boat. I'm on a boat. Take a good.
Yes, it was. Actually, it was a lobster fishing tour.
Oh.
So I was up in Maine.
Did they have free samples?
They did. They let us hold the lobsters.
Oh, no. Sampling.
Don't worry. I ate lobster literally every meal for 5 days.
Are you still good with lobster? Or?
I love it. Yeah, it was amazing.
I'm quite envious of that.
Every day. It's like, it's time for a sandwich. Might as well get a lobster roll.
That's like bologna up there,
You know
right?
what? I feel like soup tonight.
Lobster
bisque. And then, I'm just going to go with some pasta. Lobster pasta.
Lobster gumbo, lobster scampi.
That's exactly what it was
lobster
like.
salad, lobster sandwich.
Sir, would you like lobster on your eggs? Why, yes, I would.
Yes, I would. With a side of lobster, please.
I'd like a bagel with a side of lobster.
God, I'm so hungry right now. There's no lobster within 10 miles. I mean, they're closing the Red Lobster, which, that's the closest we get around here for lobster.
It was good.
Well, I'm glad that the post-vacation illness did not ruin your love of lobster, because that would suck, because that's good stuff.
No, it was good. My wife, who really loves lobster, or used to, can't eat it anymore.
Oh, see?
It makes her sick now.
I was wondering about that. Is it because of the illness or just too much lobster?
No, she just, all of a sudden, it upsets her stomach. And she doesn't have problems eating anything. I'm the guy with a bad stomach.
No, she's of, Korean descent.
Yeah, she can eat anything.
Yeah, she's the spicy stuff that I can't get
all
near.
Of a sudden, we hit a certain age, she's like, oh my God, I can't eat this anymore.
That sucks.
Yeah, she had to take Pepsid, and I'm usually the guy eating it like candy.
Yeah, so the tables have turned here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And of course, I rubbed it in her face a little bit.
I'll take
I eat lobster
that.
every meal.
You mean to have that? I'll take that if you don't want that lobster.
She's like, are you going to eat lobster again, Grace? No, it kind of hurt my stomach. Oh, well, I am.
So she doesn't eat it not by choice.
Right.
Really. It's kind of, she's forced to not eat it. Oh, that's even worse. Like if she'd gotten tired of it,
Right.
that's a whole different story. That's by choice. I don't want to eat that anymore. But when you're still looking at it longingly,
Yeah. So what's funny, we were on this boat and they're showing us how they, trap the lobsters
Yeah.
and the lobster traps, pull them up and all that stuff. And they keep pulling out crabs because crabs come in and try to, take the bait.
yeah, they're little sneaky bastards.
Yeah. And down here, we like ourselves some crab.
Oh, yeah.
Up there, they just throw it back in the water.
What?
They're looking for lobster.
It's a perfectly good
don't-
crab.
I know. Like, we could eat that too.
Well, in Florida, in the Gulf Coast, we had crabs and we would go fishing, net fishing, and we would catch 1 or 2 of these little blue crabs. And you cannot
Not enough meat.
feed anybody with 2 of these things. So it was always a delicacy. You would get like 1 leg, which was tiny. And the first time I went to Vegas to one of those buffets, they had like king crab, like
Snow crab.
like already
Yeah.
split.
Right.
You just grab the meat. There's no shelling or crunching
Right.
or anything.
They do the work for you.
And I think that was where I kind of hit that point where I'd eaten so much crab in one sitting. I was like, okay, I don't think I want crab for a very long time. But yeah, that's insane. That they're just trash fish, basically.
My daughter and I were looking at the lobster when they were showing us how they fish for them and
Yeah.
everything. And she goes, I wonder how the first person thought, I'm going to eat that thing that looks like a sea scorpion.
Oh, there's endless list of things that like caviar. I'm gonna get that black stuff that squirts out of that fish.
Yeah, oh, I bet that tastes good.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick that in my mouth.
Or the snow crab. This
Yeah.
looks like a giant spider,
Yeah.
like the scariest possible thing you could see.
Space Invader
I think I'm
looking
going to eat
thing.
the legs off that thing.
Yeah, there's got to be something good inside this horrible looking creature that wants to kill me. It looks like.
Oh, man. In Maine, lobster originally was served to the prisoners because they thought it was it was nasty.
Roaches. It's
Yeah.
the roaches of the sea.
Yeah.
is what
so
it's
that's
been
what
described
all
as.
the prisoners in Maine, that's what they got to eat.
That's why the crime rate was so high back then. I'm real hungry. Yeah, I would not be deterred from some of the things that I've kind of, talked myself out of doing here.
So that's my story. What's yours?
None. It's hot and a lot of work. Things are on the horizon I can't talk about, but coming up, maybe 2 more episodes I can talk about.
On the
it.
horizon. Oh,
Big
man.
things are happening. Don't want to jinx it quite yet, so
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I got you. Maybe we can talk about it very soon.
yeah,
We
very
shall see.
soon.
Very,
soon.
very soon.
Coming soon.
Okay. Is there any chance I'm hitting a button? I'm queuing myself up here to hit a button.
No, we already talked about lobster.
Oh, okay,
I don't
yeah,
want
you can't
to run.
top that, huh?
No.
All
Anything I have cooked
I should
stuff.
have hit the button for myself.
No, I cook
Oh,
like
well.
vegetable soup, which is really healthy and really good, but I can't make a segment out of that. That's just, there's nothing fun about
Well,
that.
people may be worried about you. At least tell them about your leg. It's not amputated.
No, it's not
We found.
amputated. I kind of wanted to. It hurt so bad for a while there, but it's just now an ugly looking wound from
It's very metal.
violating my shin on a steel trailer. And
I thought it was a mosh pit accident.
that would have been more braggable. Yeah, when you're just an idiot and you slip and your shin goes straight into the corner of a steel trailer. Yeah, I made up new curse words. They couldn't even stitch it back. That's how bad it was. They looked at it and were like, yeah, we can't put stitches. Here's a Band-Aid. That's $80. Thank you. Like, son of a $80, and all I got was a Band-Aid. Seriously, it was just a really big Band-Aid.
Yeah.
And then, of course,
It was a big one, at
about a week later, it starts looking really bad, and I go back in, and they're like, oh, well, now you get antibiotics on top of that because it's infected, of course. And I'm like,
Look,
I can't be normal.
Just keeps getting better.
Keeps getting better. Delicious. So after the lobster, we'll talk about gross stuff like that.
Okay. Well, after you sever your limb, go listen to Pot of Thunder, Cobras and Fire, Growing Up Rock, Slamfest Podcast, Decibel Geek, A to Z Radio, Metal Up Your Podcast, The Hustle, Disciples of the Watch, Podcast Rock City, Sean Geek and Fast Fret Podcast, State of Amorica, Rock Strikes 10, Potter Than Hell, Shout It Out Loudcast, The Ron Keel Podcast, The Kiss Room, Ages of Rock, Retro Zest Podcast, and don't forget about Monty.
Hey, this is Monty Colvin from Galactic Cowboys and Monty's Rockcast, and you are listening to the amazing InObscuria podcast. Rock on!
Monty's Rockcast. And how about that, Monty?
Yep.
We featured him last week.
And bam.
And bam, they hit their goal. Galactic Cowboys will be making a new album just for me.
Guess who started following us?
Who started following us? I think it was Galactic Cowboys. And Ben Huggins even.
Yeah, we have made it. We are in the big time.
My college-age self is a little giggity right now.
Giggity. Shwing.
Yes. And Monty also happened to mention us on the latest Rockcast.
we got a shout out.
Go listen to Monty's Rockcast.
Give him a shout out.
Yeah, we gave him a shout out. He gave us one.
Yeah, it's all good.
It's all good. Come visit us, inobscuria.com. Like us, share us, Facebook, X, Instagram. Hey, Robert, speaking of X.
What's going on, man?
I heard it.
You heard it.
I heard
You heard it. You heard it on the X.
I did.
I heard it, I heard it, I heard it on the X.
A retro episode of InObscuria podcast this week. Why don't you guys go check it out? Talking about the great Galactic Cowboys, their connections to King's X, and there's another band I can't remember. We get to listen to two people with COVID struggle, and we get to see Ronnie James DOG steal the show with his squeaky toy. Why aren't you tuning in again? It's a great fucking show. What are you waiting for?
Yeah.
Just go listen. InObscuria.com.
Tell him, Sean.
Welcome to InObscuria.com. Check it out.
Anywhere, y'all, everywhere, y'all. I heard it, I heard it, I heard it on the X.
And of course, ZZ Top singing about social media.
Who knew?
40 years,
They were
50 years
pioneering.
before Twitter was a thing.
Pioneering.
Yeah.
It's not Twitter, it's X.
I said before Twitter was a thing.
How about that? Thank you, Sean
Yes,
Geek.
that was very nice.
How about the support on X, of all places? And I don't even know how I came across it. I hardly ever look at X, and it just kind of popped up, and I saw it. And
So
I was like,
I've never been on the X. I know at one point they limited the characters.
You've never been on X?
Never, not the X.
Oh, I see.
I've never been on the social media platform formerly known as Twitter.
I see.
We're not going to talk about.
You have
anything
tweaked
else.
your own
We-
nipples before, though.
right now. Yeah, I'm awake. But yeah, so they allow you to go more than 142 characters. Is that the thing?
I
Or-
don't know.
I didn't know if it was audio. You could only say 142 things.
I didn't think about that.
I just cut you off abruptly.
Damn it!
I got to tweet again.
To self-edit.
You have to count in your head while you're talking.
That would be awesome, actually, if it just keeps cutting off on you and you can't get your thing done.
Son of a... One more time.
Damn it!
Talk real fast.
That's why those people on the commercials go.
Limited time offer. No purchase necessary. Offer valid at participating locations. Void where prohibited. No animals were harmed during the production of this soundboard. Subject to change without notice. Side effects include dry mouth, occasional pig snort or two, sore stomach, teary eyes, achy jaws, and whatever tingles well. Laughing hard.
All right, well.
Side effects may be
Oh, my God.
death, diarrhea, puking, nausea.
Hey, let me ask you. Well, you don't have TV anymore, so.
Nah.
We do. And it seems like all we get now, anytime there's a commercial break,
Yeah.
is like 10 commercials for drugs.
Oh, I mean,
And I'm wondering, I'm like, are they, at this point in time, are they actually targeting us?
yeah.
Because they're smart TVs, right?
Well, it's not us. It's the people that are watching TV. Who's watching TV?
Oh, yeah, old people like
yeah.
us.
So I can say the same thing with radio.
Yeah.
Terrestrial radio, because I do listen
All
to that.
drugs.
And well, not just drugs. So the target audience for, like, let's say 99X, which is the alternative rock station in Atlanta.
The now retro.
Retro. When it came on in the 90s, it was hip and cool, and we were either teenagers or 20 something.
we were living the times.
Living the times. And now that it came back on the air, we're all in our 50s.
Mm-hmm.
And so the commercials are pretty funny because it's all erectile dysfunction, hair loss, or divorce attorneys. And I am not kidding. And
Yeah.
so there's another station that they have news and stuff like that. There's an afternoon show that they joke about it, and it's their show, but they don't have control necessarily of what the commercials are. And they'll like, all right, we got to go to commercials so you can figure out how to get your willy working again. 'Cause sure enough, there's an ED commercial. One of these doctors.
Yeah.
Hey, do you have problems in the bedroom?
Oh.
Is Cialis letting you down, giggity?
Anyway, I don't know why I went down that path, but
Well, 'cause
let me
of
just
me.
tell you, there's no paranormal intervention needed this week.
Oh, well, we're done then.
I guess we're done.
Okay, nice and easy.
Yep. So 2024, as we know, has
Mm-hmm.
truly been the year of the captain. And yes, this episode not only will feature something from the captain,
Sweet.
but we are launching a new series for the InObscuria podcast. It's been brought to us, yes, by the one and the only
Captain Content. Holy banana hammock. Oh my gosh, this is awesome. I am very proud of my comments. I just assumed that you were proud of my comments too, and I don't really need the thumbs up to remind any of us of the awesomeness to which I provide. Great minds think alike, bitches.
Mighty K.
We're lucky to have her.
Yeah. Like she just gave herself a
Thumbs up.
review.
Yeah, exactly. That's how you know you're good, when you can just give yourself a review.
Yeah, how about that?
Call in.
Sean gives us a review. Mighty K gives herself one.
Right.
As she introduces Captain.
Reach out to any podcast, leave them a voicemail or a voice message.
Voicemail.
I'm old. Shut up. Leave them a voice message and then just review yourself. Don't talk about the podcast. I listen to your podcast and I want to say how good of a listener I am and how much I enjoy being me. Thank you.
You're lucky to have me.
You're lucky to have me.
Yeah. So to further commemorate this milestone event that is today, I bestow upon you a small but mighty token of your loyal listeners' appreciation. I picked this up in Maine just for you, sir.
Captain.
Yes, it's a brass nameplate just for you.
So where should I put this? Captain's quarters. Oh, my bedroom.
There you go.
Because that technically is a captain's quarters.
There you go.
There.
Yes.
Fireman captain, not sea captain, but captain. I've got many captain hats.
You have a lot of captain hats.
A lot of
here.
captain hats.
So there you go.
That's awesome.
Captain content. I could not find one that said content, so it's just captain.
Well, just take a Sharpie below it.
There you go. That works. Okay, so in our last episode, the captain, you,
Yes, me.
made a remark about a certain band that you were listening to, and it planted the seed. And that seed has now...
I plant my seed.
You planted your seed firmly.
Oh, man.
You packed it in.
Just shove it right in there.
And it's now germinated
Next, you got to fertilize it.
into this week's show. So perhaps what we should do to remind yourself and the listeners is to do a quick little time travel. Can you bring that time machine back out for us? We're going to do it real quick. All right. Well, let's just... All right, then. Let's just hop in here. And you ready? I'm going to fire it up. See if this thing... Did you put gas in it?
Let me check.
Okay.
Half tank.
All right. Let's go.
I ain't got no gas. Excuse me.
The metal chugga-chuggas, but over top it had the ringing chords, and I was
Yeah.
like, oh, that's very gothy.
And Muse did that really well, or does that really well, where they've got a heavy song, but then a little bit of techno stuff thrown in there, lots of synth.
Exactly.
I don't know, I've been on a Muse binge the past 24
I like
hours.
it.
Yeah.
I like it.
A lot of the live stuff. Oh my God, sidetrack. Pardon me.
Woo. And we're back. Do you remember saying that? You were listening to a lot of Muse?
Yes.
Yes. You still listen to a lot of Muse, or is that left you?
Oh, that
You're
was,
onto
no, that
something
was
else?
like 2 weeks ago.
That was weeks ago.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, in any case, this week, Robert, episode 244, In the Shadow of Muse. So this is a brand new series that we're going to have. It's called In the Shadow of, and this is going to explore bands and artists that have similar vibes. Bands that share a sonic landscape, or whose songwriting and playing styles are sympatico.
Did you get a thesaurus?
I did good, didn't I? I done good.
That's what you're doing on the vacation.
That's all I had to read.
Words on tape.
Yes. So this is not me trying to make a statement about bands trying to copy one another.
No.
Basically, that they have a shared sound and a shared vision, perhaps. And it's been said that there's no originality left in rock and roll. It's also been said that imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. Did you know? I found this out. There is a finite possible number of melodies that exist, but it's so large, the supply of new tunes using those is infinite.
The permutations are infinite. Oh.
Look at you. Look at you.
Oh. I pulled that out of another region right there.
How about that?
Yeah.
You need to sit down? You all right?
I do. I'm a little lightheaded. Just do a mental dump.
So, obviously, we're not going to play Muse. They're a big, big band, and they're a band that you and I both really love.
Yes.
So, let's talk about when we first discovered
we
Muse.
would get banned.
We would get banned. Yes, we can't do that. That's not InObscuria.
Nah, that's why we're here.
But in the shadow of is. So, I was first introduced to Muse in 2003. And a coworker brought in a CD that her daughter gave to her. And she said, my daughter said that you need to know about this band. And I said, okay. And I was unfamiliar with Muse. And it was their third album. It was the album Absolution. And I listened to that thing. And from those first heavy piano strikes of the first song called Apocalypse Please, I was hooked. And then I think it was you and I, tell me if I'm wrong, in 2004, we went to the 99X Mistletoe Jam. That was the event.
Which you name a band, I'll remember.
It was Velvet Revolver.
Oh yeah, that was me, absolutely.
Jimmy Eat World.
I forgot that was 99X.
Yeah, that was about the end of their run, their first run. Yeah, it was Velvet Revolver, Jimmy Eat World. I think there was another band, and Muse. Muse went on right before Velvet Revolver.
We've talked about this before. I still don't remember if there was a fourth band. I know there was the three.
I want to say
absolutely.
it was Jet or something like that, but maybe not.
We might have missed them or something, but
I know it was Jimmy Eat World and Velvet Revolver. Muse was in the middle of those two.
and all three kicked ass.
Oh, I know who it was. It was The Music. It was the band The Music, who we've played on the show, I think, once.
I don't remember that.
I remember that now. It just popped in my head.
Well, good for you. We've talked about that for years. We couldn't remember the fourth band.
Yeah, it was The Music.
Okay.
And Keen. There were 5 bands.
No way.
Yeah, it was Keen as well.
You're making up stuff now.
No, I'm not. I think I'm right.
I think we went to get beer during Keen.
Go look it up. Yeah, Keen, they got a hit, but it's
soft
kinda
rock.
soft.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Muse opened the show
Yeah.
with that very same song. And I remember the lights. They had lights in front of the piano or the keyboard. I think it was a piano.
It's very retro stage setup.
Yeah, and
it reminded me of some of the flashier bands from the 70s,
could be maybe Queen.
Kiss.
No, I was thinking Queen.
It was a Kiss moment.
No,
man.
it wasn't a Kiss moment.
They had lights and everything like that in the stage with the speakers and stuff. Yeah.
I think that was more of a Queen moment.
Maybe.
But anyway, we saw Muse. I think we were both blown away by them. And even though I had listened to the CD, it wasn't until seeing them live that I went, I'm really into this band.
Yeah,
now.
that happens a lot.
Great band. And then I would end up seeing them that same year with my wife at the Tabernacle, which is a much smaller venue.
Compared to
that would be the last time Muse would play the Tabernacle.
Gwinnett Arena is where we saw them.
Yeah, and that would be the last time I'd see Muse in a small venue.
Yeah, they play stadiums.
They play huge venues.
That's
now.
it.
The next time I saw them, they opened for U2, I think. And we only went to see Muse, and then we left.
Yeah, because
see U2.
We've seen U2 about, 6 times, 4 times.
Exactly.
Accidentally saw them a couple of times.
Exactly. Just walked outside like, damn it, there's Bono.
Yeah, just like, hey.
Oh, man. So I would say that Muse combines things that I love. They're a power trio. They have a big rockin' sound when they want to. They can be quirky and majestic with their songwriting and singing, much like Queen. They're almost like a modern Queen in a way. They have a touch of classical progginess, but also a touch of electronic funkiness. And again, that's very Queen as well. And I would say their stage shows now rival Pink Floyd. And
Whoa.
Have you seen them lately?
Don't you blaspheme. Do not blaspheme on
I'm
this
also
podcast.
I'm also thinking they do rival oh shit, I just lost it. Who is it? Oh, I know. Kiss. There's your Kiss connection with a K. Yes, I do think their stage show rivals Kiss and Pink Floyd now. It is that good.
You're just going to throw it out in the gauntlet like that. You're going to get us
through it.
knifed.
Through it.
I'm going to let the air out of my tires.
They have inventiveness. Is that a word?
Yeah.
Sure. Why not?
It is now.
From album to album, a la Rush and Radiohead, in my opinion.
Dude,
I'm throwing it down.
You're just trying to be controversial now for no reason.
Well, I'm trying to throw out things that people that may listen to this program who don't listen to Muse or who have never given them a chance because they think they're a pop band, you need to dig a little deeper.
Yeah. Just
dig
because
down.
they have a drum...
they have a song called Dig Down.
Yeah. Just because there's a drum machine in some of their songs. And
No, he's a real drummer.
Electronic drums in some of
he
their
does play the
songs.
electronic drums.
Yeah, you got to get past that.
It's badass. Dig in a little further. Muse are absolutely badass.
Agreed.
They have just enough of that English snarkiness to inject just a little bit of punk in the mix, too.
Are they English?
Oh, for fuck's sake. Honest to God, it boils my piss.
Bloody hell.
They are very English,
Oh,
yes.
okay, never knew that.
Yes, they are. So, well, let me give you a little fact. Should I give you some facts here? All right.
Hit me with the facts.
Here we go. English rock band from Teignmouth, Devon. That's where they're from.
Hey! Timmy! That's what I was trying. I couldn't remember.
Formed in 1994. And after releasing their first album in 1999, there were naysayers claiming them to be a Radiohead copycat band.
No.
Which, if you listen to the first album, maybe a little bit like the most rockinest stuff that Radiohead's ever done, maybe, but not much more than that. They've had 2 Grammy Awards, 2 Brit Awards, 5 MTV Europe Music Awards, 8 NME Awards. In 2012, they received the Ivor Novello Award for International Achievement from the British Academy of Songwriters, Composers, and Authors. They've done okay for themselves from the award standpoint.
Fancy people giving awards.
They have sold over 30 million albums worldwide. I actually thought it would be more than that, but who knows?
Yeah, because they've been around for 20 years.
Yeah. 9 studio albums, 2 live albums, 1 compilation, a box set, 5 EPs, 44 singles, 2 video albums, and 61 music videos. Damn.
I've seen one.
They have killer videos. Go check out their latest videos for like the last 2 albums. They're really good. Kind of have like a 80s retro thing. Had a hit song on a soundtrack to the Twilight movie. I'm sure you watched that one.
That was popular with
the
ladies.
That was popular with the kids back in the day. They also penned the theme song for the 2012 London Olympics, and they played at I guess it was the closing ceremony. They played that.
I'd have to look that up.
I don't know if it was they played either the opening or
one
closing
of the
ceremony. I don't know which
same
one.
thing.
But it's a pretty badass song. Hits for them: Knights of Sidonia.
I love that.
So that's a great song. Uprising, great. Starlight. Time is Running Out. Butterflies and Hurricanes. Madness. Supermassive Black Hole.
That one took a while for me to like.
Well, that was when they got a little techno.
Yeah, I still like it.
Yeah.
But man, it took a good 3 or 4 months of hearing it, and I'm like, okay.
It's they, like I said, they're inventive. They're always doing different things. And then my favorite, which is the bass guitar masterpiece, that is Hysteria. Not Def Leppard's Sincerest.
Hysteria.
Oh man. So, other bands that we have already talked about in the program and that some people consider sort of Muse-like, the band Ours, who we love. We compared them. We said, why was Muse huge and Ours wasn't? Because they're kind of on the same plane a little bit. Dredge, who we also talked about, should have been huge. Dredge is very similar to Muse. And then a band that a lot of people like now that's just a 2-piece out of England, Royal Blood.
Oh,
are very similar.
Them. I got to look them up. I've heard them and I like them, but I need to seek them out one day.
Nothing but a bass guitar and drums.
Yeah,
That's all you need.
If there was a list somewhere that people were just making a list of bands that I should listen to,
somebody should get on that.
Yeah, I think you do that.
All right, so let's get into this. So we're going to listen to 7 bands that, in my opinion, are sort of in the shadow of Muse.
Okay.
So first up, another power trio. This one's from Brighton, UK, formed in 2011. They were invited to open for Royal Blood after their second single came out and was a hit in the UK in 2014. So there you go, automatic connection. They've released 3 EPs, 3 full-length albums to date, and their latest came out on Stone Gossard's, who's the guitarist from Pearl Jam, came out on his Loose Groove Records last summer, and this band just kicks ass. All these bands to me kick ass. And we're going to play some stuff that fits into the different categories of what Muse does. This one is just, I think, just pretty pure Muse sound to me. This is a band called Tiger Cub, and they're big in the UK. They've never really broken over here. But I'm going to play the song Swoon from The Perfume of Decay, came out last year.
There's a light in the dark, and I can't turn it off. I'm afraid of the wind, puts a chills in the skin. There's a wave coming on, and I can't see the shore. There's a wave of the truth, pulling me back to you. Swoon. Shine. love that I can't figure out. There's a calm in the storm, no close at home. There's a way of the truth, it'll be over soon. Swim.
Wow, that could have been an April Fool's episode. You could have just told me that was Muse, and I would have been, okay.
Yeah, that's the other thing we could have called this.
Kevin and Robert are jackasses, once again.
Yeah, so maybe we have kind of done this concept before, we called it something else.
It's all right. That was spot on. It really reinforces how much I love the dichotomy between. See that?
That was a good one.
That was a good one.
Can you sit down again?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm holding on. Okay. I'm holding on to the table. It's taking a lot out of me to be smart, man. The dichotomy between the really heavy guitar and bass and drums and a really melodic vocals. I've been getting a few recommendations for bands from people recently, and it's heavy, and one song's great, but then you listen to 4 or 5 songs, and the vocals are just that really heavier than Lemmy. I mean, just really guttural voice that, to me, wears on. Lemmy's the only exception in that rule. And
there's only a handful that do it really well.
Exactly, and just leave it alone. But that's one thing I love about Muse is he can be powerful with his voice, but he can also back it off and just be real gentle and just melodic. And I love that. And they use the electronic effects very judiciously.
Oh my God, look at you go.
I know, what a roll. They know where to put them in, they back them off for the chorus, so you got this big chorus without a lot of distractions.
And they do use this is probably the only band, or not this, but Muse is probably the only band that uses those more modern distortion techniques on the guitar that for some reason it works for them.
Yes.
And it kind of works for these bands too that are sort of in the shadow of Muse as well. But typically you and I don't really go for that. Nope. We're more of a
Marshall
take
stack.
A Marshall and turn it up to 10. But it works for their music for some reason. Or 11, yes. Yeah, Tiger Cub, man. Like I said, I don't consider these band copies, but they're definitely
Did you say how long they've been out or how long they've been around?
They formed in 2011.
2011, I missed that.
They're obviously fans of Muse, and they're wearing this on their sleeves. And
that's okay. There's plenty of room for more.
There's plenty of room. Wagon. People love this kind of stuff. It's a very British sound, and they're another British band doing it. And here's a band that's doing it that is from Scotland.
If it's no Scottish, it's crap!
And this is a band that I was introduced to very oddly from Decibel Geek. Chris Sinzak played this band on one of their, I think it was an end of year episode where they were introducing, new bands. It may have been a Radio Sucks radio episode of theirs, but they couldn't figure out who to compare it to. which I thought was really funny.
And you're waving your hand and
like,
yelling.
Dudes, it sounds like Muse.
Say Muse. Say Muse.
They're like, yeah, those guitars are interesting. I've never really heard guitars like that. I'm like, it sounds like Muse. I'm screaming at my phone. But they're a great band who cite Royal Blood, Queens of the Stone Age, Muse, and Foo Fighters as their main influences. And again,
that's a good pedigree.
That's the modern rock that is out there now for the younger bands. And this band is killer. They're called Anchor Lane. As soon as I heard it, I had to go find the vinyl. You know me.
Oh, yeah.
And I had to order it from Scotland because it was not available anywhere else. So I just ordered it straight from the band.
Plain brown wrapper so your wife doesn't see it.
You know me well. So they have 2 albums. They've both entered the top 10 in the UK rock album charts. I don't know how long they stayed there. They've played a lot of the festivals in the UK, such as Download, Isle of Wight, Belladrum, Reading, Leeds, all the big summer festivals. I don't know if they've ever toured outside of the UK, but hopefully soon because this band kicks ass and I would definitely go see them. This album came out in 2022 and it's called Call This a Reality by Anchor Lane. This is the first song on the album. I believe this is the same one that Sinzak played on Decibel Geek, but it's just so perfectly Muse-like I had to play it for you. So here's Stutter.
You paint your picture so pretty. This distorted view. Don't know what I'm missing. I want to believe in, but I know that High school, boys drool. Feel your self-esteem drowning in the swimming pool. Play the fool, cause you're in the deep end. What to do with the weekend? Thinking of when I'm thinking of you, Lord knows how I started. Ice cream, beauty queen, not the smartest, now you're checking out at 23. What a scene, a plastic teeth, but the way that you used to look, people when I'm thinking of you, Lord knows how I stutter. How I stutter.
Spot on. Very similar. Didn't use as much of the electronic side of things, but
Use that pitch bender, though.
yeah. still part of the guitar world,
Right.
So not as much the keys, keyboards, things like that, but still spot on. Yeah, I could have easily spotted that. Chris, come on, anybody.
You would have yelled too.
That. Yeah.
Well, obviously, I don't think Chris probably doesn't listen to Muse because he probably thinks they're a pop band. Right? See,
we'll talk to him.
We're helping people here.
Yeah, we'll educate
We're introducing people to the fact that
he's
got to go
smarter than that.
beyond maybe what your perception is if you've only heard one or two songs. If you've never dug in.
He's got a lot going on. Maybe it just slipped.
Maybe he just hates them.
Yeah, or that. He could just actually hate the hell out of them.
Yeah, well, that happens. All right, so next is another band that I was introduced to by the same girl that gave me the CD and told me I must listen to Muse back in 2003. She also gave me this CD from this band that is a band that we may dig a little deeper into at some point down the road.
Okay.
We'll see what you think. They're considered an American alternative rock band. They're from Seattle, but they're not from the Seattle scene. They came a little bit later. The band's called Vast. You ever heard of Vast?
I have not.
You might. They played them on 99X for like a minute back in the day. VAST is all capitalized. It stands for Visual Audio Sensory Theater. So they're a very visual band as much as they are a musical band. And it's really just one guy. It's a singer-songwriter, multi-instrumentalist named John Crosby. And he goes way, way back to the 80s when he was just 13. Guitar Player magazine said that he was one of the guitarists to watch of the future. They used to have these little write-ups every year. I almost said episode. No, it'd be an issue. It's a magazine.
It is an issue.
Yes.
That's what they did in the old days.
I've got issues. He got offered a deal by the shred label Shrapnel. We've talked about Shrapnel in the 80s. So all the whiz-bang guitarists were on that, Marty Friedman, all that, Jason Becker. And he didn't take the deal. He said, no, I'm going to work on my craft. I see myself doing something other than just shredding. And so he put this band together. He called it a band. I'm doing air quotes. It's really just him, kind of a Trent Reznor, Nine Inch Nails sort of thing. Like
Billy Corgan.
Exactly. Like eventually I'll get some people to play these things that I'm writing.
They'll stand on stage next to me
right.
and look like a band.
And that's what he did. He put it together and he started touring a little bit. And sure enough, he quit high school. I should mention that. This is how young he was. He quit high school and finished high school as home studies so that he could focus on putting the songs in the band together and tour, which is pretty impressive for a young person. And he got signed to Elektra. Originally, the side guitarist, the other guitarist in the band that he had was Rowan Robertson, who was one of Dio's.
I was going to say, that sounds familiar.
Yeah, he's a shred dude too, and he was in this band, which is crazy to think about. He didn't last but one album, and then it was all Crosby after that. Very Trent Reznor-like, just if you don't follow what I'm going to do, you're out.
Yeah.
Sort of a thing.
I kind of always wanted that, but I knew that would never work out with me. But there are times when I would disagree with people in our band.
Yes.
And it was like,
hey, I was in your band.
I didn't say anything. I didn't point fingers. But yeah, there were times, and I thought about bands like that, and I was like, God, that would be so nice.
Just call the shots.
What did you say? No, I said I want to do it this way, and that's it.
I'm Big Jack.
Exactly. I knew that would never work, but it was fun to think about it for a minute.
Just hold your wad there, fella.
So they put out the first album. Rowan's on that one. It's a fairly alternative rocking kind of thing.
Yeah.
And Rowan left. They put out another album. They did okay. They got some airplay. They had a little bit of MTV success, but not enough that Elektra was going to keep them. And so they got dropped. And so John Crosby decided, you know what? I'm just going to focus on doing digital releases. And this is in 1998. So the whole digital thing was very new.
Yeah.
And they were, like I said, they were fairly successful when they were on Elektra. So when they started releasing songs digitally, they got so much pressure from the industry, from the record labels, because they were making money doing this without a label online, that they got kind of forced into having to release physical media. They got sued, basically.
So, yeah, they had guys
back
in
in
trench
the day,
coats show up at their house.
Yeah. So back in the day,
really,
you couldn't release just electronically. They were trying to make it so, no, you had to have a physical release too. I don't know how they enforced this, but he actually went to an indie just so he could have physical media.
Yeah.
And it didn't sit well with him because he had a hard time working with the company that he ended up going with. So he ended up putting out 2 digital-only albums anyway. And, it didn't stick, right? Nobody can force you. So he just went to digital only. And then he created his own label because then he decided, well, you know what? I probably could make more money if I did release
a little bit
physical
of vinyl,
media as
yeah.
well, because this is still the early 2000s. And so ever since then, he's just done his own thing. He's written books, science fiction books. He's done soundtracks that go with it. He's done acoustic albums. He's still out there doing this. But the first couple of vast releases are, to me, Muse-like.
Okay.
Now, this may be the biggest stretch because this is a contemporary of Muse. If you think about when this came out, this particular release was in 2004. They started in the late 90s, so they were really starting actually before Muse started. So
Right.
Not quite sure if they're considered in the shadow, but I think when you hear this, you'll go, yeah, they were sharing that same sonic landscape, sort of like ours.
Yeah.
So I'm going to play something from 2004. Originally, this came out only online. That's where I got it. And it's just, I don't know. To me, it's very Muse-like. This is from their album Turquoise. This is I Woke Up to L.A. No. I Woke Up L.A.
downside is they don't have traditional endings, so I never know when it's about to stop. So, yeah, that's close enough, and that's within the tree line.
Yeah, it's there.
Shade parameter.
It's like Muse mixed with a little Nine Inch Nails and a little Depeche Mode.
I was going to mention, we talked about Trent Reznor for one reason, and now it actually sounded similar to some of his stuff.
Yeah. Probably more Filter than Nine Inch Nails, but it's all related.
Well, they were one and the same at some point.
Exactly. I just love that band Vast. I don't know, maybe at some point we explore them more?
You're just setting up more and more episodes. I thought we'd finish this up in like 5 or 6 more episodes. We'd hit all the music we needed to hit. Now you're just dragging it out even further.
We
got
got
work
at least
for another,
2 more.
Yeah. 2 more.
We got 2 more in
we
us.
got work till the end of the year, probably. I think then we're on the unemployment line.
All right, well, let's see if some ladies can hit that Muse spot.
When you're with... Oh, sorry.
Wow.
Yeah.
Little Sticks.
Yeah, little Dennis DeYoung there.
Little DeYoung.
Yeah.
Nice.
What,
hard to hit.
What's the keyboard? The new one? Rowan?
No, Gowan.
Gowan. Oh,
Yes.
I had Rowan on the mind from the last band.
Larry
Gowan. Couple of like the random Facebook stuff that pops up was an interview with him showing off his spinning keyboard.
Oh, how it works.
Yeah, like he's like, yeah, I do this and people love it and I stand up on it and I've fallen off of it before. Like he was being very realistic with it. He wasn't being as cheesy as he normally is. But
oh man, he is so amazingly cheesy live.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and which is perfect because he took
playing the DeYoung
the
part.
ultimate cheese ball, which is Dennis DeYoung. Yeah.
Yep, absolutely. Those 2 guys love each other too.
Oh, just best friends, hanging out for Thanksgiving.
Oh, let's see. Yes, this next band, all ladies. Ooh. And we've played them on the show twice, and we recently mentioned them during our Woman Scorned episode.
You'd think they would come over and hang out with and go for drinks or something after all that.
You would think, but they're on tour. So you know what, they can't do that. They're going to be here in September, though. I mentioned that.
Oh, yeah, let's reach out.
I'm talking about The Warning. It's a power trio of sisters from Mexico City.
Dio was good about that. Look out! Look out! A lot of warnings in his song.
This band started off as a YouTube sensation. We've talked about that before when they were just little kids. Mm-hmm. And among the classic rock and metal tunes that they were covering when they were little kids on YouTube, they also loved to cover Muse. And when they grew up, you know, when they got to the ripe old age of like 15, they started doing their own music and put out originals as The Warning. And now they're on their 4th album, and I think the bass player is almost 20.
Getting old lady. Over the hill.
And she used to be the smallest one. She was the youngest, the smallest one with the bass, and she could hardly hold this big bass. And now she's the tallest one.
And the growth spurt.
And yeah, like, what do they call it? The swan?
Yes, the beautiful swan now. She grew into her bass.
Yeah, exactly. She grew into her bass. And quite a lovely lady as well. Yes, so their 4th album just came out this summer. They're on tour in North America right now. They're an amazing band, and they do wear that whole "We Like Muse" on their sleeves as well. And I think you'll hear it here. This is brand new music from their album Keep Me Fed. Just came out. This is called More.
So you said they're coming in September?
They are. They are playing the same night that we have tickets to go see Sisters of Mercy.
Two things that couldn't be
This
more.
is why I'm conflicted.
It's slightly conflicted, except for the reality of showing up at their shows. I believe we would stand out like a turd in the gumbo.
What the hell did you just say?
Maybe. Yeah, maybe.
Just, it sounded...
I think there might be younger people there.
Maybe.
Much cooler than us.
Maybe.
Yeah.
And there were some Taylor Swift elements to that song.
Really?
Yeah. And I think that would, which is not a bad, their target audience is not us.
I thought they were rocking, man.
No. It wasn't that. It was kind of where she stopped and was just doing the spoken word for a second. Like, I don't know that much about Taylor Swift. I honestly watch her videos with the sound turned off.
You are a sexist pig.
That's just wrong.
It's wrong. I don't want to hear it.
Creepy old man.
She's very easy to look at, but I don't want to listen to it.
I don't think much of her. I'm the only one. Everybody else says how hot she is. I'm like, no, no.
You are a happily married man, so you are correct in what you just said, sir. That will never get you in trouble.
She doesn't look like a young boy at all.
I've heard that. I don't want to say. I don't want to get sued. Maybe.
Oh my
God. Where was I going with that? I just did to myself what I do to you all the time.
I think you were going...
I sidetracked myself into...
I think you were going to say we don't need to go to that show, but we should just go to the old person
goth show where we belong, where we fit in. We're kind of pasty these days. So,
yeah, true.
Yeah, put on the guy liner.
Good point.
Yeah.
No, that won't happen again. Used to do that. Not anymore. Too damn old for that.
I still look good in it. I've never put it on myself because I have the fear of stabbing myself in the eye, like an honest fear. Like I get one of those things. I'm like, I can't do this.
Oh yeah, you don't have contacts.
No,
you've never touched your eyeballs.
No,
I touch my eyeballs every day.
No, no, just gross, nasty. No,
I'll do it right now. Watch.
No, don't. No, I'm not looking. I'm looking away. No, yeah. So I've always had an assistant do that for me. And stop, you asshole.
Take my wooden eye out.
This is why we can't have videos of this podcast because you're there touching your balls.
Yep, touching my balls, my eyeballs. All right, next up is a duo, not Dio. He looked at me. Yeah. I said duo.
He's ready to go.
He is. He was like, "Oh, am I on? No, not yet." Yes, this is a duo containing an English multi-instrumentalist named James E. Gray and the Portuguese guitarist and vocalist Eduardo Lemos, and they call their band Dear Sherlock.
Didn't see that coming. I mean, no, I thought of something else, but no.
So they were formed in 2012, sort of. So from 2004 to 2012,
was that a leap year?
They did what we suggested.
Oh,
they were in a band.
Fire the drummer.
And yeah, and then they're like, you know what, we should rename ourselves. But they didn't really change the way they sound.
It was just a refresh.
Right.
It wasn't a complete rebuild.
It's a reboot.
It's a reboot.
Yeah. So
hit the off button.
2004 to 2012, they were known as Reckless.
It's
okay. And they were known by the MUSE fan base because somebody, don't know who, somebody put their songs as a fake online leak of then MUSE's current album, The Resistance, but it was actually just songs from Reckless.
Nice. Whoever did that, I salute you, sir or madam, whatever it is.
Yep.
I salute you.
That was in 2009. So they kept that thing going until 2012. And they're like, we should probably rename ourselves. Yeah. So now they're Dear Sherlock. Maybe they orchestrated that themselves. I don't know. But it's brilliant because people thought that was the new MUSE album before it came out.
Well, as we know, people will believe anything.
Well, and when you hear them, you go, yeah, I can see why. Yeah. I can see why they thought that. So they have 2 EPs and a full length as Dear Sherlock. I'm not sure what they have as Reckless. If you go try to find music from Reckless online, you get a lot of stuff that's not them. Oops. Apparently, it's a very popular name for bands.
With that name, I picture a lot of Aquanet.
It sounds very 80s. Yeah,
Reckless Heart. There's Restless Heart, I think.
There is, yes.
Yeah, so Reckless Heart would be another one.
I'm going to play a song called XPTO. I would say this was on the side of the quirky style of MUSE that you might hear that's a little more Queen-like, a little more proggy. Maybe that Knights of Sidonia space is where this is.
Yeah.
You be the judge.
Okay.
Here we go. This is from 2023. The Object of Ridicule is the name of the album from Dear Sherlock.
with the pipe organ, the very Catholic pipe organ.
Ooh.
It came dangerously close to goth. It was a little early for that. It was like a little spooky.
Well, you even made the
loved
comment
it.
that Muse is a little
Sometimes,
tinge
yeah,
of goth.
tinge of that, yeah. Then they, wear black. But that, as far as that particular song, that was right on the edge of that, and I like that. That's just.
I thought you would like this
wheelhouse.
one. Of all of them, I was like, he's going to like this.
I want more of that one right there.
And the album cover has a bunch of creepy clowns on it, so.
I know a few of those.
Yeah. Well, nice. Yeah, I think that band's really cool. And I could see how somebody would post their music and go, "Oh, that is the new music."
That would fool many, many, many people, yes.
Okay, so next, an American band described as theatrical indie progressive from Sacramento, California.
We'll be the judge of that.
I think this works in favor for the Shadow of Muse. They were formed as a collective of several musicians from the Sacramento area. So originally it was just going to be a project band doing a one little EP, and of course that did well, and so then they became a full-time band. They're called Que Sera.
Que Sera. Whatever will be.
Will be.
Well, no, that's Que Sera Sera.
Oh, shit. I added the extra.
I hope I'm right. Otherwise, I'm going to hear about this.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
So they released an EP. Then they did another two back-to-back in 2010 and 2011. They finally put out a full length in 2013, and then nothing. They were just gone.
Radio silence.
Radio silence until 2020, and they announced we're putting out a single. And the single came out, and then nothing. That was it again. Until
that was a tough time to be putting out music, if you remember.
It was. And maybe they were just bored, too. I was got to do something. Then on May 3rd of this year, they posted on their socials, we will be playing our first show since 2013 in Roseville, which is, I am assuming, right outside Sacramento, with the red jumpsuit apparatus. So Friday, August 23rd. This will release prior to then. So if you're in the Sacramento area on Friday, August 23rd, go see Que Sera.
And I've heard of the red jumpsuit apparatus. They were probably a mid-2000s.
Mid-2000s, kind of emo-ish.
Yeah.
But this band, clearly in the shadow of Muse, in my opinion. But I will let you be the judge. From the one album that they put out, the full length, this is Collisions and Near Misses, the name of the album. And this is the song Carrie.
The church bells in Paris are ringing out, singing your song. And as the world sleeps tonight, we'll be staying up, promise you that. And as the world falls apart, we'll be staying up. We will carry on.
They did what Muse does exceptionally well, and that's write songs that you play just before you go into battle.
Exactly.
Somewhere.
Yes. Pump you up.
Some
Get you
battles,
ready.
combat, some conflict, somewhere you're lock and loaded.
You might say cinematic.
Cinematic.
Yes,
very, very cinematic.
Yes.
I would definitely say that. Not might. I would. And say that I thought of it.
Nice. Killer band.
Yeah.
Just a little bit on the last three bands are on that edge of kind of the progginess part that Muse sometimes hits.
But, and like you said,
but still poppy.
The bigness
at the same time.
of the song.
Yes.
They're very bigly.
Orchestral.
Oh, that's another good one.
How about that one?
What's going on? You go away on vacation, all of a sudden we're like smart and everything.
Not really. All right, I got one more for you, and this is a band, again, that pushes even a little bit further into the proggier side of what Muse does. But when I discovered them, it was kind of haphazardly. I was online, I was searching for new bands.
Sure, that's what you're searching for.
Yeah. I typed in something and expected something else, and I got this band instead. So, who knows? Late at night, all by myself.
Everybody's asleep.
Type of one hand.
Down in the basement.
Yes, I stumbled upon this band and I listened to it, and Muse was the first thing I thought of, and this was back in 2011. And I thought, wow, I found this great obscure band. One day, maybe one day, I will be able to let people hear this on some form of radio or something.
I'll have a megaphone of some type.
I will play this in a club. Yes, this is a band called Battle Circus. And
See, once again, I was just saying, these are the
there you go
military conquest themed songs.
Let's see if we get another one. They're from New Zealand, and they were only around for a very short period of time, 2007, 2011. They have one EP and one full-length album, and then they were gone. And I still hear people talk about this band kind of in the prog rock circles as one of those bands that, they were a modern prog band that, people never knew about, and they were great, and I still hear it. And they're still on Bandcamp, so you can still get their stuff. Go out there, it's available to you. So go check this out. Battle Circus. This is from I believe this is the full-length album. Yes, Battle Circus was, the self-titled was the full-length. And this is a song called Galacticus. You be the judge.
Okay.
I feel myself
Excellent fade out. Excellent fade out. So, yeah, this could be played before battle. Maybe not as motivating some of the other songs, but I'd be ready for some shooting and looting. I mean, just
okay.
Give me some ammo.
Well, good.
Kick me out the back.
I think we should go do that now.
Oh, well, don't tempt me with a good time.
Grab a flamethrower.
You take your pick. What mood are you in? Which one?
Maybe that one was stretching the Muse boundary a little bit.
No. I will firmly say that was definitely Muse-like.
Okay.
As far as, like I said, the battle cry type, getting rid. That was a little more.
Still had the big chorus.
Big and everything, but it's more. It was chill in the Muse type of chill.
Yeah. The drums were maybe a little more chaotic than Muse drums would be. Muse typically, even if the guitars are doing something crazy, typically the drums will be laying a solid beat.
Right.
That's not what this band does.
It's not doing lots of fills.
Yeah.
And I'm not a drummer, but I think that's what it would be.
Yeah, he's more of a groove, solid kind of beater.
Yeah.
But a beater.
Either way.
Anyway, that's what I got for you. What do you think?
I can't wait to listen to this episode.
Where else could we go with In the Shadow Of?
Don't get me started.
There's a bunch out there.
Yeah, because we're constantly going, this sounds like this.
Sounds like this, yeah.
We need to play more of that.
Exactly. And I even have enough for another episode. As I was thinking about bands that have that sonic space of Muse, there's a whole other one we could do if, people enjoy this or if we enjoy it. I enjoyed it.
I enjoyed the hell of it. Like I said, I'm looking forward to listening to this episode so I can remember what bands you talked about and see the playlist that you put out.
You need to dig into Dear Sherlock. That was the one you liked.
Dear Sherlock.
Dear Sherlock. That was it.
Dear
Tiger Cub, Anchor Lane, Fast.
I liked all of them.
Que Sera.
All of them. Even
Sera.
Que Sera. Just the Sera.
Battle Circus.
Yeah.
It's all of it. It's good. And that's what I got for you, from you.
Excellent.
How about that?
That I didn't even know I was doing that.
How did you do that?
I got to go to work. I've got, I think, 3 different ones that I found one, and it's a known band, but I just rediscovered them. And then our loyal followers have been feeding me some really good stuff. So yeah, next episode.
Well, we just had the Tonys.
Yeah.
So
everybody else is competing now.
Yeah. Everybody's like, hey, you gave this guy. They say this guy.
Yeah.
I'm like, you call him the chairman. Yeah. You gave him an episode. Why not us? Well,
everybody's working towards that Diamond Sphincter Award.
Exactly right. We've been handing those out every month.
Left and right. Yeah.
Well,
Facebook has.
I try not to touch them, actually. It's kind of gross.
Tongs. That's why you got tongs.
Exactly. Just pop them in. Bloop. Yes, you too could get a Diamond Sphincter Award.
Yeah, and if you don't know what that is, you're not on Facebook.
Exactly. All right. Well, that's it this week. Until next week, we have at least 2 more.
Yeah,
I think 2 more in us.
And then our contract is canceled.
And then we'll see what the chairman says.
That's right.
All right. Until then. Later, people.